Hello, Assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And I'm back because we need to talk. We need to talk about the elections. Today is the 6th of February 2024. It is 10:55 a.m. And this is my second attempt at recording this because, as usual, the minute I start recording, then that's the minute when people need me. So let's just get back to it ASAP. First of all, we need to remind the world that the narrative that our mainstream media is portraying is completely false regarding anything and everything, first and foremost, and especially regarding the elections. The false cases against Imran Khan, the bogus cases, the bogus decisions that have literally gone against Islam, that have gone against the Prophet's teachings, regarding the bogus case marriage trial. In fact, if anybody's uh, legal status regarding marriage is to be questioned, that is Maryam Nawaz, who seems to be producing kids left, right, and center, despite the fact that she claims to still be married to her first husband. And another person who needs to be, whose marital status needs to be legally challenged is her father. Her brothers too have been in the mix. Hamza Sharif is very, very famous for his scandal regarding that. So is his father, Shabazz Sharif, who right now is actually, for all intents and purposes, living with the mistress, Gharida Faruqi, a self claimed journalist. And they claim that they got married. Now, if anybody's marriage actually needs to be dissected and it needs to be legally challenged, it is right now Gharida Faruqi and Shabazz Sharif's marriage, because as it turns out, they're not even married. So, as I said before, whatever it is that they need to be charged for, every single sin that they've committed, every single crime that they've committed, they have very neatly put it all on Imran Khan. Every single crime that you know that is committed by the PMLN family, by their members, by the political party, they have very neatly tried to put it on Imran Khan. The whole world knows what's going on. What's going on is that America that needs to fight a war, the America needs Pakistan's soil, America needs to be able to wage wars, and so does Britain. Obviously, Britain, remember, is behind it all. Talk about plausible deniability on Britain's part, but no more, because now Britain has become very open and vocal in its stance. So Europe and America, they basically just want to recolonize the world, and they want to wage wars. And they want that their so-called allies, who were never their allies, but literally their potential future slaves, they want that they should all once again be under their control. Okay? And in that bid for control, America has created this whole scenario in Pakistan. You can see the hidden hand of America in the way these people have behaved. The fact that they have gone so far as to defy our religion in this case, that they forged and fabricated against Imran Khan and his wife. This case in itself has now made even the religious leaders, the hypocritical religious leaders as well, to scream out loud, because this challenges everything. This challenges the foundation of marriage. It challenges literally everything. So the people, the so-called women rights groups have very neatly disappeared. Where are they now? For the past 2 years, that there has been an open violation of women's rights. There has been humiliation. There have been sexual assaults. There have been rapes. There have been attempted rapes, just to threaten to scare the women in Pakistan. And this was done by the army. It was done by the intelligence bureaus. It was done by the illegal government. It was done by the law enforcement, and it was all done upon the orders of Maryam Nawaz, who in turn is taking orders from America. Keep all of that in mind, and then let's proceed towards the elections. Okay, so the elections, as I said, is just that America has told the army that they need to conduct the elections, and by hook or by crook pretend that there have been elections, like just like how India did with Bangladesh, and just like how America has done with other countries. So to impose a civil dictatorship, because they cannot very openly commend the army itself to sit on top openly. So they want an imposition of civil dictatorship with Nawaz Sharif in the forefront, because let's face it, Nawaz Sharif is the biggest of all traitors. Zardari, they know, is a traitor anyway, but he's a traitor that, can manage to hold Sindh. And Nawaz Sharif is a traitor that can try to take over Punjab. The problem that they're having is with KPK and Balochistan and the northern areas, who even their judiciary is not under the control. They cannot control the law enforcement agencies of these areas, because those people actually have a spine on them. So they have tried their best to create a situation where somehow they could postpone the elections, but since the word is getting out and things are getting worse now, as I told you before, that the minute they start stealing from you in the form of bills, you know that they're about to do something. People have got up to 100,000 rupees in gas bills, which I might remind you has never been more than 2,000 rupees. People are getting billed in the same amount in electricity, and they are creating deliberate problems of resources for people, so that people should be so sick and tired of their lives that they shouldn't be able to actually see what's going on, and that should actually have had the opposite effect. And at the moment now, because of the elections coming up, because they have finally stolen all that money from us, and now they are financially able to rig the elections. In KPK alone, the local PMLN party member was caught together with the election commission. Um, um, let's just call him an employee, together with another person in official status. They were caught in KPK, um, basically with a car full of a sack full of ballot papers. We all know what that means, right? They don't want us to vote, and they're scared that if actually people do turn out to vote the way we did when Imran Khan won the elections, they're scared that if that happens, they might not be able to control the situation. But actually, the truth is they are prepared for that as well. So what have they done? They have first of all separated each family member's polling station. Okay, so for example, if I have one polling station, my other family member from the same house will have a separate polling station. So their whole point is that, because if a family has maximum 2 cars or 3 cars, accordingly. So not everybody, if a family has just 1 car, then obviously not everybody will be able to go to the polling stations. If it's a large family with 2 or 3 cars, you can still manage to disable half the family members from leaving. So this is the first thing that they did. The second thing that they did was they changed the polling stations to faraway areas. So, for example, my polling station is actually within my residential area, but it's no longer my polling station. Now they've sent me about between 2 to 10 kilometers, although according to election commission rules, according to the rules of the election in Pakistan, you cannot move a person further than 2 kilometers from his residence for him to be able to vote. But so that we should not be able to vote, or so that we should have problems voting, they have moved our polling stations far away from us. You're lucky if it is within the 2 kilometers radius in any case. Most people have been flung as far as 10 kilometers far from where they live. Third, they have created ghost polling stations. That means that they are giving you addresses that are deliberately wrong, or they will name the polling station wrong, so that if you then search it on Google, it will take you somewhere else. Or if they do give you um, an ambiguous address or area of where you're supposed to find it, it will not be there. So you need to do a proper Google search in order to find out where exactly your polling station is situated and what exactly is it called. Because, for example, my polling station, if you do a straight up Google search, you will find that you're supposed to be in Kasur, not even in Lahore, but in a completely different city, Kasur. And if you do another search, you will find that there is a Sheikhupura, which is again a different city. So it's only if you're lucky enough to know that there is actually a place that is very similarly named right near you, and then you can go there. But otherwise, if you start like that, you will be basically not be able to find out where exactly your polling station is. Once again, it is the PTI candidates that came through. They have been sending messages, they've been shooting flyers, they have been calling people up to tell them who exactly their candidate is and where exactly they need to go in their area. And they have also been kind enough to provide platforms for people to go and do an auto search to find out who their candidates are and what their signs and symbols are. And also, they have worked with the people to facilitate them by giving them, um, basically, by giving them slips, voter slips. You know, you need those papers where you need to fill in your your constituency and your details, and you take that slip, and you that slip is actually given to you by the candidates when you go to the polling stations. But because there is there is this chance that the PTI will not even be allowed to set up tent in front of the polling stations in order to facilitate their voters and in order to give them the slip. So they have literally shared the slip on social media with everybody so that we can download it, print it, fill it up, and take it with us. Um, so there is that as well that people need to know. People also need to know that all this wasn't enough. All this wasn't enough for the US imported illegal government and establishment. It wasn't enough for them to do that. They decided that they would dig up the roads, again, using our money, using our precious tax money and bill money. They have literally dug up roads and set blockades, okay? They have blocked the roads. They have set up cranes in front of the roads. They have dug up the roads so that people cannot drive to the polling stations, and people cannot even walk easily to the polling stations. They have literally closed entry to all those polling stations. And they have, in many cases, they have decided to make certain areas they've decided to convert certain areas or certain buildings into polling stations that do not even have a place for a rickshaw. Okay, they don't even have a place for a rickshaw. So imagine what is going on here. And now you also need to know that they have kidnapped again PTI candidates. They have kidnapped at least uh, four PTI candidates that we know of just from within Punjab, uh, two from within Lahore, if I remember correctly. They kidnapped their kids, they kidnapped their family members to force them to retire and resign from their candidacy. They have kidnapped some of the female candidates and their siblings. They have kidnapped candidates from other areas of Pakistan as well, not just Punjab. So basically, once again, as I told you before, expect kidnappings, expect threats, expect that they will put obstacles in the elections. In fact, also expect some big terrorist activity to come up to. After all, the amount of money they've ripped from us, I am definitely going to expect some sort of terrorist incident that should, another false flag operation. Just remember that that too can happen. So remember, this is the truth, okay? So if anybody tells you otherwise, if anybody, especially the American government, tries to bullshit us and the world about how the elections have gone well and how there has been a huge turnout voting for Nawaz Sharif and that Nawaz Sharif has fairly been elected, remember that that is a lie, okay? That is a blatant lie told by a pig, okay? And all these pigs in the animal farm need to be slaughtered just for that. Okay? I think once again, I would say if you want world peace, America needs to go, Europe needs to go, if you really truly want world peace. Because these are the ones responsible for everything wrong in this world. And it's a fact. There's not a single country that hasn't been burnt by them. There's not a single country that hasn't been disturbed by them. And they are after Pakistan. They've been after Pakistan from day one. Okay? And we, the Pakistanis, are frankly sick and tired of it all. And we demand that America and Britain leave us the frack alone, okay? Or else face dire consequences. Because don't think that you will get away with this. Don't think that, like Bangladesh, these people are going to stay on our heads. How long will they stay on our heads for? Do you actually think our people are that nice that we're going to let them? Have you ever seen any government stay its actual term? Have you seen any government in Pakistan fulfill its actual term? What makes you think they will? I know you don't care because all you need is just 1 year. 1 year for you to plant your feet in Pakistan and to wage wars using our soil. But that, if you ever even dare to do that, remember there will be dire consequences. Your whole country will pay for it. Your whole country, your people will pay for it. Keep that in mind. Because you are right now messing again with the wrong generation. We are not those people who you're going to try to humiliate, okay? You may have thought that by trying to humiliate Bishop Bibi in court, that you no, you're dealing with the wrong generation. I have made many a man blush, okay? And wait till I talk about your man periods. You think you don't have period? I can tell you, as a pre-medical student, men have periods too. And how shameful are your periods compared to ours? So don't even get me started, okay? You people, you need to behave like the human beings that you're not, but you're pretending to be. So don't mess with us, okay? This is a blatant lie if anybody says that Nawaz Sharif is going to be elected. Nawaz Sharif is not at all going to be elected. He is selected. He is selected by the US. In fact, what pees us off even more is that you are wasting our money to put on a show. Yeah, sorry. This phone call that you just heard, which I hit pause for, this phone was one of those calls that I'm telling you, which we are getting from PTI. It's a recorded call in which, again, our candidates, their symbols are being confirmed, and we are, being told who exactly it is that is a PTI candidate, confirmed PTI candidate. So as I said, whereas Nawaz Sharif and his gang were calling up people early in the morning on Sunday and every day, telling them that, oh, you have to vote for Nawaz Sharif. Why? Why do we have to vote for Nawaz Sharif? Instead of at least opposed to them, we the PTI people are at least calling their own voters, because remember the PTI as a party is actually very organized. They have a list of their voters, and so they are basically calling their voters, they are facilitating their voters so that we should face no difficulties, because as I said, the government has spared no expense in putting all kinds of obstacles. First of all, as you know, they never allowed the overseas Pakistanis to vote because they knew that that is one thing that they just cannot tamper with. They can tamper with our votes. Remember that. It doesn't matter. Okay? Listen, I understand. I really do understand that that in our case, what we're basically being told is that we should not give them an excuse. But again, here comes my problem. We have already given them loads of excuses and many chances. Okay? We did not avail even one of those chances in this war with the illegal government, but and the establishment and the army. But they have availed every single chance that we have lost. Okay, so this is not a civilized country. We're not dealing with civilized people. We're dealing with American hounds. We're dealing with traitors. We're dealing with dogs that have no religion, no faith, no country, nothing. These are sellouts. These are prostitutes. These are pimps. We are dealing with this kind of people, and we need to deal with them in their own level. Okay, we have rules in Islam, but we are also allowed to stoop to the enemy's level. We are also allowed to fight with them in their own way. Okay? So I think we are actually allowed to use the same tactics as they have been using against us. But unfortunately, we are once again stuck here. And now we're being, advised that we should just go to the polling stations no matter how, despite the obstacles. We should put our votes and then we should sit there to make sure that nobody does any hanky panky. But again, I ask you, even if we sit there, they have to take the box away. At the end of the day, they have to take the box away. The boxes filled with votes, they have to take them away for counting. Then that is exactly where it's all going to begin. Okay, we will manage to, stop them maybe by sitting in front of them and watching them, but then later on, we have to go, they have to go. And as we have already seen in KPK, the PMLN people are, as always, ready with forged ballots, okay, ballot papers. And that means that they can just burn our votes, and replace it with their fake votes. I mean, they've done it before. They've been doing it for a long time. Remember, technically Imran Khan won 3 times, not just once, 3 times. He won twice before, and he was not allowed to come. How do you think that happened? They stole our votes. They stole the votes, they destroyed them, and they added their forged votes. What's to stop them from doing it now when they've literally stolen from us? They've stolen money from us in order to facilitate the American pimp and the American prostitutes. So what is going to stop them from? And my problem is, after they have done the elections and after they have announced the American pimp and prostitutes as our government, how will we then undo that? That's my problem. And that is exactly why America is forcing them to do this, because America knows that even if the elections are not fair, and even if it is just a farce and a charade and a drama and a sham, but at the end, it's done, and we can scream blue murder, but it will be very difficult to remove them from their post. Again, it's also because they know that the people of Sindh and Punjab are completely at the moment spineless. But again, the northern areas are the only ones that are going to continue screaming blue murder. Punjab is going to scream for what, 1 week? Sindh, not even one day. Karachi, a few hours. And then, we are going to be forced to get back to our lives because they've already made our lives hell. Let's see. I have no hopes for our people, seriously. But I did have hopes that the overseas Pakistanis would actually exert their might and get something done, but they didn't either. They're too busy working the American Congress. I'm sorry, you do realize that the people you're asking to have a congressional hearing about the situation in Pakistan are the very people that created the situation in Pakistan, right? Well, anyway, my point here was just to tell everybody what exactly is going on. So do not believe the news, please. Okay, if you really want real news, listen to us on social media. Okay, listen to the real news, listen to the truth, and don't make don't just actually be made fools of. Okay, these are not fair and free elections. The government is not facilitating us. The government is in fact trying its level best that we do not vote. Imagine, it's so funny. Usually countries are always crying about their people, saying that they need to come out and vote, and they don't. In our case, our establishment is literally trying to stop us from voting. This is me signing out. Khuda Hafiz.